Hey guys, I hope you're doing just as good as I'm doing tonight. Everything went actually pretty well. I started the workout with some pretty undesirable form. You know, it happens. I wasn't doing pause reps for, it's been like 9 days since I've done a pause snatch. So, you know, you kind of have to relearn it in the moment. But other than that, I was happy how everything felt. I don't feel very fatigued. My cardio's been great. I've been losing weight at a very nice pace, allowing the lean muscle to stay on. So overall, I'm doing pretty good. Physically, Jesus, like 8.8 at least. Like it was fun today. I once the form hiccup got corrected, I'm not gonna let you guys see because I don't want you guys to think that I'm shit at what I do. But I'll at least be honest about it. I just don't want it to take up time because I don't think it's worth putting in there. But I failed 135 like 5 times, not because it was too heavy. Obviously, it was just my technique was shit. You know, I kept bumping the bar out and I had to kind of just put the bar down. I'm always saying, like, put it down, walk away, take a minute, collect yourself, come back a new person, you know, get that shit done in the best way that you can without overthinking it or overwhelming yourself with negative emotion. Because if you're thinking about that negative lift that you just did, you're gonna repeat the form that you had with that negative lift. You gotta make sure that you really grind out in your mind exactly how you feel on a typical really good lift. Like whatever lift you think you're gonna complete at the heaviest weight with the best form possible, that's what your imagination should be bringing up when you miss a lift. Regardless of that, mentally, we'll give it a 7.75. This is a weird day. I've talked about this, it doesn't happen to me much, but today's one of those days where outside variables of my life are becoming a little much. You know, it sucks, but I had some recent realizations. You know, we'll get to it in the talk in just a second, but you know, very close friends of mine are behaving in ways that I didn't realize was their true self until I got too close, which happens. It's normal. It's more important about how you get through that, you know. So just getting into it, you know, we can just enjoy the lifts. Let me know how you think of them. I always appreciate compliments, or, you know, I'll take critiques. It always makes me better anyway. But let's get into the talk. This is the main idea before I get into my own spiel, is losing that personal connection, that initial flair that you had so strong with what you thought was one of your closest friends. It hurts me in a new way, I guess. I haven't had something like this happen since way back in high school, and back then it was petty and childish because we were kids, so I didn't think I'd experience something like this in my adult years, as I'm very proud of my level of communication, and I'm always very good at affirming what I believe while also allowing the other person to put forth their ideas, and also making myself compromise to the extent that it doesn't overtake my own personal principles, as most people should. And at least what I believe is that these really close friends of mine I think that they have ideologies of narcissism, and to the psychological definition, it's something where they are individualistic to the highest extreme, to the point where material things that are socially made more important in certain aspects of your daily life become more important than your personal friendships. Not saying that they don't enjoy me or like me in other ways, like it's not like they hate me, but regardless if they understand it or not, the way that they have viewed our friendship, that I found out today, it's not from a place of they want to make do with the relationship and care for me and support me like a good friend would. They are more worried about their materialistic values being impeded by my existence, which you know, if you tell anybody that you're not going to want to be friends with them because of like a chore or something not getting done at the rate that you would have wanted it to happen, then like you should rethink the way that you view things. I think that's just personal, but I've had a lot of support recently, which has been nice about it. Not that, here, I'm gonna uncrook you guys, sorry about that. Not that I'm saying how people feel about this certain situation is invalid if it's different. I just think that human relationships come first. And so at the moment, I feel less important than dishes. Which, it seems so stupid when you say it out loud, but it goes so much deeper. So the exact situation, I'll try to not keep this too long, is when we moved in together, you know, and by the way, with good friends that you have, if you ever move in with them, you'll see their true side. It's always a hope that they are good people, even further than you knew originally, but sometimes you get unlucky and you find out that there's a bad side to it that you just never got to see. And it, you know, it may make a lot more sense after you find out. But they would complain about our messiness, completely valid. You know, their original worry and getting upset for stuff like dishes or laundry, whatever, completely valid. You know, it makes complete sense, and nobody said that was not okay. I personally only got upset because of the way they chose to go about it. And I talked about this in a more recent video about letting negativity control the way that you act. And they were immediately jumping to getting emotional, yelling, blaming, and blame just makes the other person put up their defensive walls, and then nobody can have an actual human conversation with any logic. It's just how our brains work. So back then, it took a lot of effort, but I communicated myself all the way through that conversation, and I got them to a point where they could compromise with me on the condition that we like try to do our best to get better as a normal friend would. You know, I care for these people. I want to do good by them. I want to make them comfortable in their own home. So what ends up happening is months and months later, I find out, because I decided to bring it back up just to make sure we had everything squashed. And literally like 5 months later, I find out that they have been harboring secret phantom beef with us because they did not want to talk to us about it a second time. And I was like, why would you not want to communicate that? You know we would want to help. And what they explained, their ideology behind it was that if they have to explain it a second time to us for something as small and insignificant as dishes, then they completely give up on the idea of us ever getting any better. Which, if you've ever done anything in your life that requires even an ounce of passion, like how I do my weightlifting, you know that no matter how many shit times you may fail, if you are trying and wanting to do better, you will always make progress. And so because we did not hit the exact marks that they wanted us to hit, they gave up the moment we showed any sort of weakness. For something as stupid as dishes, like a small little mess of laundry and dishes is what set them off to the point where they gave up on believing we could even do anything good about it. And you know, my initial response to this is, okay, well, you understand that you guys are the ones harboring these negative emotions. While we may have caused it, and I apologize for that, you didn't let us know. So if we're ignorantly and blissfully happy, just walking around doing our own daily shit like nothing's happening, and we think it's fine, and you say nothing, pretending like it's fine, then you only have yourself to blame for being upset. Again, another thing I mention a lot is you're only as negative as you allow yourself to be. And he fully agreed with that. He was like, yeah, you're right. Us not communicating has led to it to build up into something bigger than it needs to be. And now we are more upset than we could have been if we had brought this up sooner. And I'm like, okay, well then why, Like, why are we not just like being cordial about it? I was like, the bare minimum that you should do in a relationship when you are good friends with someone is at least be cordial, you know, try to your best to be calm and have a nice logical discussion about it so that you can understand how to do better. Again, another thing I say is it is not about who's right and wrong, ever. That's not what matters. That's just going to be what makes people pissed off. It's good to take accountability and know who causes what in the initial argument, but the moment you know exactly what's happening and you're all on the same page as why this happened, blaming doesn't matter after that, you know, because everybody knows what happened and it's just gonna make you more upset. All that matters, it's not what you go it's not the event that you experience, that sucky traumatic event in your life that may have been really horrible. That's not what's important. It's how you got through it, you know, the mindset it took for you to become a better person, compromise with others, and also compromise with yourself in order to be a healthy human being about it. And again, his only explanation was that, especially the other friend, was that they would not be able to agree with us anymore on compromising solely because they chose to give up. And again, like I mentioned, I was like, do you not think that's selfish that you can get mad but still choose not to put in any effort? And their side of it was that they thought that we weren't putting in any effort by needing to be told to do a dish for a second time out of living with each other for months and months and months. And this is what I mean, back to the core point, where people like this, whether they know it or not, are unconditionally narcissistic at heart. Not saying that they're awful, horrible human beings. It's that, like, I do believe that they are good people, and I truly believe they have the potential to be better friends. But the way that they stand now is that they have proven to me that they would rather base their appreciation for me and our other friends off of what we bring to the table materialistically. How successful we are, how productive we are in the day, how many results we can bring home, and how consistent we can be in doing cleaning. Like, you can't tell me that you guys haven't had a day where you come home and you're just like, I just gotta go to sleep, I can't do anything right now. I know it sucks that there's like a couple dishes in this thing, but like I can just get to it tomorrow, I'm so beat. Because it happens. We're human. You know, we need to chill out sometimes. And again, when you don't explain your own part of it, you're just getting yourself more wound up and more upset, to the point where when it comes out on me and on the other people that they interact with, it's only going to come out negative and disheartful and unfriendly. They like it. I do not feel like at the moment we have a friendship anymore. And you know, I didn't say that not because I don't want to be honest, but because I don't believe at this moment it will change anything until they decide to make a step to be more compromisable in the emotional sense. Because me and most of my friends, and I hope this is most people, care more about the personal, emotional relationships we make with people rather than what they decide to bring to the table. Because at the end of your life, when you're sitting in a deathbed and money doesn't matter anymore, you're gonna realize it never did. And all that happiness that you thought you would get from it, and the success and the fame, will only drive you away from those who really wanted to just show you care and appreciation. So in my next step of life, you know, they're my roommates. So if in my next step of life I move away and do my own thing and they don't change, then I gotta keep doing what I've been preaching that I'm doing. I gotta keep being me. You know, that's as simple as it is, as sucky as it sounds. But I've talked about my dad in this way, where we are both, just like me and my roommates, we are both immovable objects that will not change our minds. And I am consistent in believing right and wrong is not what's important. So even though I may want to believe that what I am doing and acting is right, and I may want other people to say that I'm right. It's not what matters. It's how I learn to appreciate my life and surround myself with more positive people to lead a more healthy lifestyle. That is what is important. So if what needs to happen is us never compromising with each other again and moving separate ways, and me worrying about my own life and doing what I have to do to make myself better, then that's what I'm gonna fucking do. Because how I say with any of you, your personal individual life is priority number one. And through this, I've said this again, I relate to my dad with this. When it comes to my roommates, I can at least appreciate that they're honest when they are asked about these things, rather than my dad denying the way that he acts. My roommates are straightforward, and they will not hold anything back. So at least, no matter how hurt I may feel from those facts, I know I'm gonna pick myself back up. And once you know that your life, like once you develop the mindset that no matter what you go through, your life is gonna keep trucking forward, just like I know mine will. As sucky as it is, I know I'm gonna be okay. And so now all I'm thinking of is, what do I do to be a better version of myself? So I'm gonna go hang out with other people. I'm gonna just keep doing what I love and appreciating myself, and just more importantly, not letting their negativity drag me back in. Because the hardest thing I think the situation calls for with people is that when you have to interact with them every day, you just want to get into it. You know, you want to prove that you're right. You want to prove to them that they're wrong. But that's not what life's about. Life's about making sure that you surround yourself with as many people that care about you as possible, while enjoying the lifestyle that you lead up to that point. Regardless if that means it's your principles, or the activities you do every day, or the consistency that you show, the discipline, the passion, any or all of it. It's your own personal guidelines for enjoying yourself. So if this is the step that they need to take to be open and honest about how they feel to make themselves better people, I'm glad for it. Because I would rather someone tell me a harsh truth that hurts in order for everybody to move on with their lives, than allowing me to stick around trying to mend a relationship that is unmendable at the moment, and wasting more time on a situation that I can't control. So didn't mean to get too personal with you there, but I think I needed this. I had a lot of good friends that I haven't talked to personally in a while support me with these situations. So it makes it a lot easier to pick yourself up in life when you get to have those people picking you up around you. Makes it 10 times as compatible to take that first step into the new light. So take that with a grain of salt. You know, whoever can relate to it. I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm picking fights with certain people looking at this video that may agree with my roommates, but that's not why I do this. I do this to express myself and take the next step forward that I need to do to lead a better life. So that's what I'm gonna do. So if you're gonna sit there and get mad about it, you're just stuck on pause at the moment, realistically. And until you move on and start living for yourself, you're not gonna be making any progress like I will be. So I love all the support, by the way. It's really cool that you guys keep coming back and listening. So whatever this may mean to you, I hope you were able to latch on to a single part of this entire video and possibly feel maybe a little bit more positive, a little bit more reassured, or just a little bit supported, because not enough people get that kind of support that they need every day. So do what you will with the information I've just thrown at you, and we'll be back at it tomorrow, because no matter what, my life's not stopping. So we'll be squatting and clean and jerking tomorrow. So I really appreciate the support from you guys. So I'll see you tomorrow. You know, that's all I got. I'll see you.